right, welcome everyone to mock draft number 5. As we get ready for the fantasy football season, we're doing a mock draft from each spot on a 12-team fantasy football draft. We've done rounds 1 through 4, so today on the Sleeper app we are doing round number 5. So let's get into it. Or not round number 5, pick number 5. You know what I'm saying. All right, so our first picks, boy, that was way loud. Okay, our first picks go CeeDee Lamb, Christian McCaffrey, Breece Hall as the running back early on. Sorry. Don't know why that opened up like that. Anyway, Breece Hall and Tyreek Hill. So we are left with the decision that we have been left with a few times. Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. And I have said before, I think Jamar Chase is the better of the two. He is in the better situation. Maybe he's not the better of the two. Justin Jefferson's really good, but he's in a better situation, which is enough of a tiebreaker for me. So I am going to go with Jamar Chase there. After that, it's Bijan Robinson, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then Jefferson goes, followed by Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, and Saquon Barkley. So we've had a couple interesting things kind of sitting for us here. I'm not in a spot where I love any of these running backs here in the second round. We're not going to go quarterback. I mean, maybe this wouldn't be a bad time to just, let's see what happens when we do get one of the early quarterbacks. Looking at some of these options here. Oh, you guys know I love Deebo Samuel. I don't know if I want to risk it not getting Deebo. Man, like there's two guys who have, like Jacobs, it feels like he's a guy I could wait on. And Samuel also feels like a guy I could wait on. I want both of them, though, and I certainly won't be able to get both of them. I think that part is pretty obvious. And, like, running back does fall off quite a bit. So I think I'm being a bit too picky, maybe not wanting to get Jacobs. Achane, I just worry that he's just not really the guy there. And so I'm looking ahead of Josh Jacobs. And we're going to go Derrick Henry in the run-heavy offense with the Baltimore Ravens. Josh Allen goes immediately after us. Then Olave, Ayuk, Pacheco. There goes Jacobs. There goes Achane. There goes Evans. Laporta is off the board, which does mean we get Deebo Samuel, which is, it really seems like something that I've been getting in basically every draft. And so right around now is where we start to look at the quarterback spot. I think it was team 2, then we got a little panicky it's team 3. We got a little panicky when the quarterbacks and the tight ends were kind of falling a little bit, and a couple of those have gone. Kelsey has gone since we last picked. Hurts is off the board, as is Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud, and Lamar Jackson. So the top quarterbacks available right now: Anthony Richardson, Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love. I want to come away from a draft with one of those guys. Looking at tight end, there is McBride, Andrews, Kincaid, Pitts, and Kittle. I want to come away with one of those guys. I think I can wait on them a little bit. And so I think this is a spot where we can take advantage of a player who I think is being a little bit underrated, and that is Joe Mixon. He is I think a talented running back in a very talented offense. And so to be able to get Joe Mixon in this spot is glorious. So we are going to take Joe Mixon here in the 4th round. Feel really good about that with Henry and Mixon. Our receivers are Chase and Samuel. The tight ends, Andrews and McBride, have come off of the board. Kincaid is out there. It's Kincaid, Pitts, and Kittle. I think I'm going to risk it and see if we can wait on Kittle coming back around to us here in the 6th. We're going to wait on quarterback as well. Boy, that might be too much waiting. For where we're at right now. Looking at some of the receiving options, you know what? I think I have really been underselling. I've really been underselling T. Higgins a little bit in some of these. And so I'm going to, because looking at how the draft board has shaken up right now, team 1 doesn't have a tight end. We don't have a tight end. Team 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So a lot of them don't actually have tight ends. It's just the teams immediately around me that do. And so I'm not going to risk it. We're going to go with the tight end who I think is the tippy top. I have him ahead of Kincaid and ahead of Kyle Pitts. It is George Kittle in this spot. I just don't want to miss out on one of those guys. And so it does mean missing out on T. Higgins, which is a bit of a bummer. So now we're waiting on the quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson goes. We've seen a bit of a tight end run here with Kincaid and Kyle Pitts as well. Joe Burrow is off of the board, but we still have Kyler Murray in this spot. Now, this is where I have been jumping kind of at Kyler Murray. I do wonder if we could wait a little bit and what it looks like if we get like a Dak Prescott or a Jordan Love in kind of the next round. So let's go. I just worry about Roma Dunze. Like, I think he's really good. I think he's really, really good. But I do worry about the opportunity there. Now, Keenan Allen does get hurt, but banking on that for a 6th-round guy is a bit of a stretch. And so this is honestly why we have come to getting the quarterbacks here, is that there isn't a whole lot of guys in the 6th, 7th round that I feel comfortable taking this high. So we're, again, going to go with Kyler Murray as our quarterback. That feels like kind of the way it has gone for us so far. And now swinging back around between our pick and now, it was DeAndre Swift, Roma Dunze, Terry McLaurin, Najee Harris, Evan Ingram, Dak Prescott, Zamir White, and Jaden Reed. No players that I am upset about missing. I'll say that. And this is another one where I think we get a really good spot because we get, we're going to take Raheem Mostert here. I get HN, explosive, all of those things. Could absolutely take the number 1 job in Miami, but Mostert is going to have a role in this offense. So give me Raheem Mostert here in the 7th round. That is something that we have been getting. Is a couple of decent, I think, starting running backs here late in these drafts, or not late in these drafts, but kind of in the middle of these drafts that we've been feeling really comfortable with. And so now looking at it, like we absolutely. Maybe we wait around and take Jordan Love in the 7th there. But I like I said before on the Kyler thing, I don't feel like we really missed out on anyone. Jordan Love goes the pick before ours. So we are back up here on the board in the 8th round. Quarterbacks available are Brock Purdy and Caleb Williams. But this is that area where I have said I want to come away with a couple of guys. In these middle rounds, mid to late rounds, I guess we're at now, I want to target a Christian Watson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jamison Williams, and Brian Robinson. Those are all the guys who I'm looking at targeting right now. So we have the 3 running backs. Let's go with the 3rd wide receiver. Let's go Christian Watson in this spot, and we'll see if one of those guys swings around to us. Jalen Warren's another one who we wouldn't mind getting in that spot, and honestly, maybe I probably should have gone that way instead. So that's a bit of a lesson learned. But now we are going to come away again with one of our other guys. It's tough. I think Brian Robinson could be the guy. Let's see the note they have on him here on Sleeper. Or maybe I've just added him to a queue. Sorry. Never mind. I thought there was a note there, but I just misread the app. So it's down to Jackson Smith and Jigba, Brian Robinson, or Jamison Williams for me. Just looking around here, like Blake Corum is an interesting running back piece. I think I'm gonna go Jamison Williams. I just have a feeling this guy's gonna turn into something special here, and so we're gonna go Jamison Williams. I would love it if Blake Corum didn't come off of the board here. We're looking for Corum, Robinson, or Jerome Ford for our next pick. And so coming off of the board, Robinson did go. We probably should have expected that. A couple more quarterbacks in Tua, Goff, and Daniels. Corum does go before us. So this is basically an auto pick for me. It's Jerome Ford, running back for the Cleveland Browns. They're saying here limited work in the preseason. I think Ford is good, and I think that he is going to get a significant amount of the work as a running back here with Cleveland, and to get him in the 10th round to me is a steal. And so this is why I don't mind going with the receivers early on, because we have been getting Mostert and Ford pretty consistently in the back part of these drafts. Now it comes back around to us here. We're in the 11th round. We have to pick a defense. We have to pick a kicker. We're not in a spot where we are going to do that yet, but we have been taking them a little bit earlier than usual. I think this is a good spot for a Zach Charbonnet. Actually, I feel like people are really sleeping on him and treating him just as like the full backup running back to Kenneth Walker, and that is simply not going to be the case. I think Charbonnet is going to get quite a bit in that backfield, and so we'll take Charbonnet there and feel very, very good about our situation in doing that right now. As it loops back around, Aaron Rodgers going in the 11th round. Still a lot of running back or a lot of wide receivers going. Xavier Legette is a little interesting. I have said before, check your league settings because I am in a league where you get a point for every 30 kick return yards, and I think Rashid Shaheed is going to be impactful in the offense and also get some opportunities in the kicking game. So maybe take a look at getting him. So players available right now, it is J.K. Dobbins at the running back along with Jalen Wright and Ty Chandler. Kendre Miller and Marshawn Lloyd also there as well. At wide receiver, it's Brandon Cooks, Gabe Davis, Josh Downs, Jahan Dotson, Jalen Polk, Ricky Pearsall, all of those guys are going. So we've reached on defense a couple times in these drafts. I still don't think we have to. Dobbins is an interesting piece for me, but I do think another wide receiver here is good. We've been getting Jalen Polk a little bit. I'm going to go Ricky Pearsall. Just based off of the Brandon Ayuk stuff. Now, it sounds like Pearsall maybe isn't picking things up in this offense all that well, but I still think that there is an option there for him to be very good on this team. And so immediately after is Brandon Cooks, J.K. Dobbins, Kendre Miller, and Jalen Wright, followed by Kirk Cousins, Gabe Davis, Ty Chandler, and Algier. And so now we are here in the 13th round. This is where I'm going to want to get ahead on the defense because as it loops back around to us, we're going to be behind on the defense and kicker thing. So let's get ahead of it. Let's get a defense. Let's get the San Francisco 49ers defense in here and lock that position down. We will take another player for our bench after that, and then we'll go kicker last. If Jalen Polk could stay in that spot, that would be, I think, a huge get for us. And he does stay there, so this works out really well. There are a couple of options that I don't mind here. Jalen Polk is one of them. Dontavian Wicks is another for Green Bay. I was going to say even an Adam Thielen. I don't know if I love an Adam Thielen. We had Mark Andrews earlier. Isaiah Likely isn't a bad one to go with. Even at running back, like Vidal, I think is interesting. Jaleel McLaughlin may be a little bit interesting. But to me, it is Jalen Polk. And to be able to get him a couple of rounds after we were debating him and Pearsall, I think works really, really well. And so now it comes back around to us. It is time to draft our kicker. We will take the best of what is left, and that is my boy, Daniel Carlson, with the kicker spot here in the final round. So I'll tell you what, I really like this team. I like this team a lot. At quarterback, we have Kyler Murray. Our starting running backs are Derrick Henry and Joe Mixon. At wide receiver, we have Jamar Chase and Deebo Samuel. Our flex will be between Mostert, Watson, Williams, and Ford. And then on our bench, at running back, we have Charbonnet. At wide receiver, we have Pearsall and Polk. Our kicker is Daniel Carlson. And our defense, the San Francisco 49ers. So that is going to do it for this mock draft, and that's going to do it for a Football Friday. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, if you like this video this audio, if you are watching, make sure you like it. If you're listening, make sure you leave a review. Subscribe wherever you are tuning in. We got a lot more like this coming up in the next coming weeks, and then the football season is jammed, so we're going to get to all of that as well. So thank you all so much, and I will talk to all of you next week. Have a great day, everybody.